Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going in Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we're talking the Euro Raw. It's another early start time. We're back to doing same-day Raw reviews, Larson. Very exciting for the next 2 weeks anyways.
It's really throwing me off my schedule. I'll tell you what.
I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
I'm used to Monday. I mean, we couldn't do it today because it was really stormy here in the Sacramento area. Monday, get up.
Yeah.
Go play basketball. Maybe we shoot something for Friendo Club before that.
Yeah.
None of that happened today.
Nope.
I ran a couple errands this morning, came home, ate some lunch, and just waited for Raw to start. That sucked up 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Now we're doing this recap here.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was not feeling motivated this morning. And then like noon rolls around. I got to sit there for 2.5 hours and I got to wait an hour because I had to pick up the kid. And on top of all that, Larson, I got dumped. For the first time since 2008.
Nearing 20 years.
I got dumped by John Felix Anthony Cena.
Thank you for using his passport name, Steve.
As he eviscerated the live and lively crowd there in Brussels and then got kind of like immediately shut down by Cody Rhodes, who said, "Enough! You're a whiny biatch."
Yeah, you call him a whiny biatch.
And then he walked away from him. So that was the big opener to Raw, the big confrontation between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. John Cena had a lot of words. Didn't really mention why exactly he specifically sold out to the final boss.
Yes.
But he did, go ham on the crowd. What did you make of John Cena's evisceration of crowd?
He went about, 18 minutes and came at it from slightly various angles of why he's turning his back on the WWE Universe. It's short, says, for 25 years, y'all been really shitty to me.
Yeah.
Taking a lot of abuse. This is a toxic relationship, and it's one that he says, I'm putting an end to. I am breaking up with all of you. And he says through his career, he's tried to make the crowd happy, and yet none of them are happy. And this was not strictly for the Cena sucks people. He said this is especially for the Let's Go Cena people, because he was saying, essentially, you all are losers who are living vicariously through me.
Called them toxic. He said there was a little child, which the camera then caught, who looked like he just got,
devastated.
His puppy kicked or something like that. This kid looked like he was on the verge of tears. I was hoping that they would go back to him. I was hoping Cena would go up to that kid, or at least... Here's the thing about Cody. This is a small detail, but it's like, this is how you know Cody's a real son of a bitch. Cody made no effort to go to that child and console him.
No.
So hopefully that kid learned his lesson. Don't support John Cena. Stop wearing his merch. Maybe ask for a refund, perhaps. I don't know. But kid looked pretty devastated by John Cena there. No, I thought it was a real. I'll put it this way. I thought it was a really, really, really cool segment. I thought it was a really well executed promo. It looked like Cena just deep down was having a lot of fun unloading on the crowd like that. He had tons of very legit ammunition because, he's right. I got a little bit of success. You guys like me for half a second, but then rewind back to, One Night Stand 2005 or 6, whatever it was. And that crowd was already, anti-Cena. And so fast forward to today, and he gets to unload on the crowd. So we had a grieving of Aaron. He also mentioned there's going to be no superficial aesthetic change to the John Cena brand.
I appreciated that because essentially he was the rationale was you want this to happen because you want it to happen. It's not happening.
It's also a little bit of like, why should I change for you people? So I like the entire thing. If I'm going to be at all, critical here, which sure. I feel like there was an opportunity for him to have something here in this slot as iconic as the pipe bomb. Now, maybe given, more historical context beyond 3 hours, it'll land there. But, when you think of things like Mark Henry's retirement speech, which wasn't really known for as much for a one-liner as it is for the jacket and just how wonderfully he performed it.
Yeah.
When you think, obviously, the pipe bomb, the flare stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You do think of specific one-liners and being and the punctuation of it. This was, I think, too long. This was a really long promo.
It was
I joked in the pre-show, it was 3 promos in one.
Yeah. No, the economy of it doesn't stand up to the pipe bomb or flares with a tear in my eye promo. Those were a few minutes each at most.
Mm-hmm.
This was probably pushing 12, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if there was that just line that's just devastating, it kind of got lost in the enormity of the promo all told. If that's why I was hoping there'd be some through line. It's not just, hey, y'all, everybody's been shitty to me for 25 years, so I turn my back on you. How does that relate to teaming with The Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Where does The Rock play into all this? So that the idea that I'm tired of this relationship that's existed for so long, that can kind of be the spark that led him to consider what The Rock was offering. What is The Rock offering?
There are 2 more advertised dates on the road to Mania. I would think, given that they are in the next 2 successive weeks, then there's a 3-week gap, I think. And it's April 19th. Maybe there's 2 weeks in between his last appearance and then WrestleMania.
And Mania itself.
Maybe. It's possible that he does one more, for the go home or something, but it wouldn't shock me. The next 2 weeks, they're going to be promos. John Cena is going to have the opportunity to run down Cody Rhodes, and I think it'll be pretty awesome. And I think, maybe tonight was, I say this tongue in cheek, was just a taste of what's to come, an 18-minute taste of what's to come. In terms of further explaining his motivation, and this was merely chapter 1, where he basically says, you people, I'm stating the obvious right now, you guys have been shitting on me for 2 decades, and what do? I win. Maybe he needs an additional 18 minutes to talk about why he, the specifics of why he joined up with The Rock. I thought it was a very memorable promo. It was heel Cena, the new heel Cena, post Make-A-Wish Cena, delivering his first heel promo. And I thought that he delivered, wonderfully. I thought it was, I had a smile on my face the whole time. I was like, oh, this is fucking good. Mm-hmm. It did go for a long time. It was 26 past the hour before Cena's, Cody's music hit.
Yeah.
And so this was a long time, but I thought it was a really, really effective promo. Kicking off, I thought a really entertaining Raw. The tragedy, of course, the finale, Finn Balor not winning the Intercontinental Champion. I thought this was a lock, Larson. I thought this dude had it won. Finn Balor, we were promised, if you remember correctly, I know our memories are bad, one of them dirt sheets promised a huge Finn 2025, and I thought this would be the kickoff to that. What do you think went wrong here? Was this a botched finish?
Well, what went wrong is your expectations that Finn was going to win. That's where this went wrong for you, Steve.
I hope that you appreciate that sometimes I enjoy playing the duller just so I can serve something up to you. So, what do you say whenever you brick a shot and it lands right in my lap? A gift. Silver platter, Larson.
It's on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Whatever reporting might have been out there about Finn maybe being in line for a push in 2025, hardly say it constitutes a promise, Steve. And what we've seen so far, 3 months into the new year, I mean, Finn's got a shirt that says 10 years of Finn, and they're pushing merch, I guess.
Not very.
In terms of him winning matches.
Does the push mean a new crappy theme song? Because the one that they debuted, did they debut at the Rumble? Where they debut that?
I don't remember, but it's so
trash,
unmemorable.
It's so bad.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, This is how it starts, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's so bad. He lost to Braun Breaker in the main event, despite the laziest Judgment Day overbooking. I mean, God, do they have a
It's
template
just,
at this point with the
I know,
Judgment Day
it really
overbooking?
is. It really is. It's just the most uninspired stuff, and it leads to the most obvious. And listen, the most obvious outcome is not always. I say that not to say it's necessarily a negative thing, because sometimes in good storytelling, the outcome seems obvious. This just really feels like formulaic pro wrestling storytelling, you know? And
Are you talking about the division within Judgment Day?
yeah,
Yeah.
and how it played out over the course of the main event tonight.
In terms of the actual booking of the yeah, no, you're
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely right. This was more, yeah, this was lazy
Yeah,
as
it's just
hell.
like, yeah. Um, so, I don't know. Is it Judgment Day obviously has been the same since they kicked Rhea and Priest out.
Well, I mean, the big story, it's not really a story beat, but we did get a clearer picture for the Intercontinental Championship heading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, Penta wants that belt.
Braun Breaker's walking in. Do you believe this is going to be? Are they going to sort of focus on Finn and Dom heading into WrestleMania, like the problems within Judgment Day, or is Finn and Dom somehow going to get wrapped up into what could be a multi-man, or are they just going to go Braun and Penta at WrestleMania?
I mean, if the image to close the show tonight is any indication, they're going to a one-on-one match, and that could very well happen before Mania, obviously. I suppose it's entirely possible that the one-on-one match happens. Wonk finish setting up a match with Braun, Penta, Finn, Dom going into Mania. That could be.
Mm-hmm.
That could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, remains to be seen. There's a lot of moving pieces there.
But I think the focus of whatever it is going forward is going to be on Penta and Braun. And I wouldn't be shocked if Penta comes out the victor at whatever happens at WrestleMania. Especially if it's a multi-person match, then you get the belt off Braun. He's not eating a pin. And then he can move on to other things. He can be a challenger for World Heavyweight Championship while Jay has the title. Get him involved in some stories that can help flesh out his character and get him ready for a main event push in a couple years.
Yeah. Penta
They ain't doing much with him as Intercontinental Champion right now.
It's funny because people really love Braun Breaker, but they are doing jack shit with this guy. They have done nothing to advance his character. And it's funny because I think that as a performer, Braun Breaker has shown that he's not, his dad was probably the best one-note personality maybe in history, or his uncle, Scott Steiner. He was just a terrifically one-note character, but he was so gosh darn entertaining. And Braun isn't that. This dude has proven that whether it's, on camera or on camera, like in the behind the scenes or when he's like reacting to one of his matches, interviews, whatever, Braun Breaker's got dimension to him as a performer. So there's stuff you can mine there. It's just they have not done. I mean, it's similar to Lyra, like kind of just they're just there. Not a lot of character going on. Not a lot of stories that they're involved in. They're just sort of there as the title. Penta, on the other hand, this guy, you cannot turn away from him when he's either wrestling, and this is nothing new, but WWE's production really does amp this up for everybody. This goes way back. Whenever people come to WWE, I'll never forget seeing Jericho in WWF for the first time. And it's like, I don't know what that is, but he just looks cooler.
It's all that time Triple H spends working on people's entrances.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that is the most important thing. Maybe he should be focusing on that instead of the entirety of the Raw Tag Division. But, when Penta talks, the crowd just eats it all. I mean, tonight was just Brussels, great crowd. Mm-hmm. And Penta was just, when he said, hey, I'm going to be the Continental Champion, man, you felt it. And I was happy. I'm like, okay, cool. Get him out of the Ludwig stuff. Get him out of the Pete Dunne stuff. And let's get to something tangible here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could absolutely see him walking away at WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
super over.
Before we get to the storylines and the breakdowns of storylines in Raw, let's talk about this real quick, Steve.
Yeah.
Let's say I was looking to buy a car. Okay. All right. And so I'm at the dealership. The salesman signs the deal to buy the car, and then I sign it. And you come storming in and take the paperwork and put your name on there.
Yeah.
Does that make you part owner of that car?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or are you co-financing that car?
I mean, let's be honest, man. These days, especially, laws fluid. It kind of doesn't matter anymore. Like, I can walk in, put my John. What is it, John Hancock? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Put that guy there on this. I don't even have to use my real name. Just put Steve here on there, and boom, yeah. I mean, come on, man. This is a new day into the new era that we're in. So, yeah, Rhea Ripley in that triple threat. Yep.
I mean, that's how she was acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
a legal document.
She put her name on a contract that doesn't have her name anywhere on it.
Yeah. Right.
And because she put her signature on there. Therefore, she's now in the Mania match. It is a triple threat.
Yeah.
They're really going around this route to what Charlotte said, that Rhea still behaves like a child. And because that backstage segment with Pierce, especially, when Pierce is like, "You're acting like a child."
Literally said that. And then he talked to her like a exasperated parent.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting story thread that they introduced with an off line from Charlotte. But obviously, that line, I think, was probably with purpose, and now they're following through with it. Rhea Ripley is throwing a child's tantrum to get into this match. And you have to think she ain't walking out of WrestleMania with the reward.
No, you wouldn't think so. And also, she's already one of the most popular performers in the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand we don't want baby faces who are content to sit back and let things happen. We want proactive baby faces in wrestling.
Yeah.
Is this necessarily the right approach to Rhea's character going into and coming out of WrestleMania? I mean, from a storyline perspective, that's one aspect, but also in terms of having one of the most popular performers essentially having a tantrum and forcing her way into this match. Like, I don't know. I don't know how the crowd is going to respond to that.
I mean, if last year is any indication, theoretically they'll respond overwhelmingly with a hashtag "We Want Rhea," because Cody Rhodes actually did pitch a fit.
Yeah, he did.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Probably at the behest of Triple H.
Is this a rib? Is this a rib on that?
Was it when Triple H would be ribbing himself? Maybe. Maybe.
Kind of.
But I mean, everything you just described was Cody Rhodes from last year. He forced his way back into that match.
Yeah, I know, but that was like a real thing. This is character-based stuff.
Yeah, I like it because here's the thing. I feel like people appreciate depth and complexity.
Yeah.
And if you marry that with somebody doing cool shit, even if it is juvenile as hell, then I think the crowd will be on board with Rhea Ripley. Forcing the matter, damn you, I don't care about the rules. I'm going to put my name on this. It's a very stone cold Steve Austin thing to do. He probably did that at some point. I don't remember, but it's a very stone cold thing to do. And she's going to end up forcing Pierce's hand. Now, maybe he'll make a match, so that at the very least, it won't be I'm crybabying my way into this match. But she's not being whiny about it. She's exerting her will on the situation, If she sat there and honestly, what Cody did was, and I hate saying this because I'm a Cody guy,
Cody was basically pouting when he gave up his spot to the Rock.
She wasn't pouting, No. Cody pouted his way back into it. He looked like somebody, kicked Pharaoh. He looked like that kid that John Cena broke up with this morning.
Yeah.
And this afternoon. And so, as long as you could be a crybaby about it, as long as you're a badass and people will still cheer you, then you're fine. But I do think that the story matters. I think that it's a very intriguing direction for her character because it's not going to pay. It's going to pay off her getting in the match, but that's not going to have the outcome that she wants. I hope Io wins. I get the feeling Bianca's going to win. I feel like you could easily have Io come out of this on top still and still kind of say that the streak is alive for Bianca, because you can always throw in there one-on-one matches, or you can throw in there, I don't know.
Yeah, there's
whatever.
a caveat they could probably add to it, I guess, if they want to.
If Rhea eats the pin, then it's like she's never been pinned at WrestleMania. She's got the streak, And then us nerds, the people who are nitpickers will be like, no, she lost at 41. Shut up, nerd.
I know. It doesn't quite hold the same oomph to it when you say, oh, she's never been pinned at WrestleMania as opposed to she's undefeated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's undefeated in singles action. You could do that. You could do that.
People are going to, the asterisk is like super obvious there.
So. Look, it all depends on if WWE gives a shit. I personally think they do. I think that Bianca's going to win because I think what you're saying is right. I'm just saying they could.
I mean, I suppose they could.
I mean, she's already, I don't know who, I forget who it was, mentioned. She's already lost to WrestleMania pre-show.
Yeah.
Battle Royal.
It's kind of.
Sweep it on the rug.
Her
NXT character from 2017 in the video game is shockingly low rated. But it's from 2017. It's not from 2025.
Yeah, that was 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
she was such a good heel in NXT.
Anyways, she was a great heel.
You want to jump into it, Steve?
First, let's talk about this, man. Let's talk about prediction challenges, because I predict this WrestleMania, we're going to have the biggest predictions challenge of all time. Because on the line is this CM Punk Signature Series bootleg edition from Pakistan.
Don't cut yourself.
Costs about 1/7 of what that thing did. That's the good one. I'm not giving anybody that. But this thing from Pakistan, you're
covering up the spinner part of it.
I know. I'm trying not to cut myself.
Yeah, don't cut yourself either. This thing's very sharp.
I literally did right there. Look, I cut myself on it earlier. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh.
That's all the belt right there.
Really? It's not your cat?
It's my cat. Oh, wow. It's not coming off.
Hey, look at that. You fixed it. Oh, wait.
There it is.
There, you can put your own spinner thing on there.
You can put your own spinner thing on here. Anyways, this is on the line in the WrestleMania Predictions Challenge. We're looking for this to be the biggest one ever. Mm-hmm. You can participate by getting one of them channel memberships here at youtube.com/Steven Larson, or by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson and clicking on the Friendo Club setup. Either way you do it, it's $5 a month. Get access to our old bonus episodes, get access to the question threads for the show, and you also get access to the Predictions Challenge. So, yeah.
Correct.
Do that.
Correct.
Do that. And also, while you're here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification. You guys know what to do. We got 714 people watching on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notify bell. Come on now.
Yes, please.
Let's not go crazy. We're trying to get to that new palindrome, 202,202 subscribers.
Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close.
We're getting close.
We are, but hold on.
Do the math. What's the math on that?
94 away.
Oh, shit. Really? We're that close?
Yeah, I told you we're close.
If there's 94 people watching right now, if we hit that goal by the end of the episode today, huge. A big deal coming up. Me and Larson. Believe it.
All right. That in mind, let's proceed. So John Cena opened the show. Again, we're not going to go verbatim. We kind of went through what he had to say. The crowd was spirited with their chants, such as, shut the fuck up.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Fuck you, Cena.
Yeah.
But we got into the beat of what he said. Eventually, he's interrupted by Cody. Cody gets
Hold on a second. I'm going to ask, I know we're not supposed to use AI, but I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do some. ChatGPT, can you please?
We did already summarize all this. Why do you have to
summarize this promo from John Cena?
We did already. I don't know. You're just trying to find some gimmick to utilize. Anyways, Cody gets to the ring and he thinks, he says, I think everyone is willing to hear you out, but if I understood correctly, they're giving you their worst. Sure, they may have, but they have given you their best, and they did it because you were special, because you could take it, carry it. And Cena says, he's about to talk, and Cody says, enough. Says, let me ask you, who the hell are you? Where's the guy on the shirt? I was excited at the prospect to face go face to face with John Cena. I got this. This better not show up at Mania. And if it does, I run it over. I run it out. I already took its best shot, and I'm going to retire you early. Go find John Cena. I want to wrestle him at Mania 41, not this whiny biatch.
Is he asserting that this John Cena is a clone of some sort? Fake John Cena.
That could be the assertion here.
So I had to ask ChatGPT 2 times to make it more concise. This is what it came up with. John Cena snaps, calling out the WWE Universe for 25 years of disrespect and saying he's been in an abusive, one-sided relationship with the fans. No matter what he did, it was never enough. They booed, mocked, and used him. He declared he's done seeking approval, breaking up with the crowd, and says, I don't need you. You don't matter.
You pretty much already said that.
Well done. Well done. Yeah, but ChatGPT maybe a little bit better. You didn't need to run
that through ChatGPT.
A little bit better. So, yeah, then Cody comes out. Oh, you just said that. Okay.
I already talked about all that.
Relax, man. Well, you are grumpy today. I'm grumpy, too.
I can tell.
I don't like all this. I don't like this.
I want Raw back on Monday nights. Reviews on Tuesday. Basketball.
Put it back here in America where it belongs.
It's like my schedule.
You know what, Larson? Tariffs on Belgium for stealing Raw today and ruining my day. DJ Luke D said he was there in the crowd, and they did a killer job. He says, "How do we do as a crowd? You did a great job.
Great crowd.
You did a great job.
Excellent crowd."
Yeah.
Anyways, getting back to all this, Cody drops the mic. He leaves. He goes up on the ramp, and Cena stands in the ring, kind of dejected for a bit. Drops the mic, walks up the ramp, and just stops at the top, looks around, then goes backstage.
Yeah. I'm kind of bummed he's not going to have a heel theme. Not going to have, he's not going to wear suits.
I wasn't expecting him to ever wear suits.
Something different.
Yeah.
Different. I mean, he did say that he would, like, a while ago, if he was going to turn heel, he wasn't going to have merch. Mm-hmm. But let's get rid of that fucking idea. Literally every appearance that he has a new themed shirt and a new themed custom Signature Series title. They just change out the strap. Anyways, that's probably making money.
It probably is. They got the custom towels and all that for the
hand
each
over
location.
Fist. Hand over fist.
So we had a contract signing with Io and Bianca. Pierce is there. He's moderating. He says, "Here, sign the deal. Io, the floor is yours." She says, "Bianca, you will not disrespect me again. Rhea will not disrespect me again. No one will ever disrespect me again. I'm the Women's World Champion after WrestleMania. I'll still be Women's World Champion." So Bianca responds, "I have all the respect in the world for you, but last week I gave you a pass. It was my fault. If you think I'll let you put your hands on me and not think something will happen, you don't know me. At WrestleMania, you're going to find out, because I'm Bianca Belair. I'm the EST and your new Women's World Champion." She signs the deal. Contract signed. Rhea's music hits. And Pierce is like, immediately, "Rest, get out here."
Mm-hmm. He knows what's coming.
Yeah. And Rhea says, "What are you doing out here? Io slapped me, and I won't take that like Bianca over here. How do you just stand here acting like nothing happened?" So Bianca says, "I had to sign my contract." And Rhea says, "You have no business being out there in my match. So I'm going to take a page out of your book, and I'm just here to watch." So they start arguing. They're in each other's face. Io again tries to step in. I think it's Bianca who pushes her.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Io slaps Bianca. Rhea then kicks Io in the gut and power bombs Io onto Bianca, who Bianca's now on the table from the contract signing. So she grabs the contract, signs it, and Pierce is like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I signed the contract. I'm in the match now." And she just leaves, and then Pierce follows her.
She leaves with the contract.
Yeah.
He's like, "Give that back. Give that back."
Nah.
Also, hell of a table there. That table did not break.
Didn't break, no.
Yeah, very, very impressive
they didn't
table
gimmick
there.
The table, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, remains to be seen if there's going to be, like, a match way for Rhea to get in.
I mean, she signed the contract. I guess not.
I mean, look, there's been less ridiculous events in WWE history in terms of people getting into matches. I know, dude. I've seen this before, where somebody comes in and steals a contract. Shit, who stole a contract?
Someone stole a contract that they weren't supposed to be in. I can't remember who it was. It was a match between two people. Another person came in before both people had signed the contract and put their name on where one of the people had signed.
Yeah. Because we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, I'm
Vermilion says HBK signed a match for Triple H and Benoit.
Oh, Mania 20?
HBK in 2004. No, I know it happened. I know it happened recently. Like relatively recently. I want to say it was Thunderdome. I don't know. Anyways, we'll find out.
That could be.
I mentioned this at the head of the show as well. Very disappointed. Finn Balor.
Oh, hold on. There's one more thing with this Rhea Bianca Io stuff where they're backstage
brawl,
and Pierce and Rhea are arguing over the contract, and that's when he's like talking to her like he's a disgruntled father.
There it is. John Cena did it with Finn and Roman.
So he finally gets the folio, walks off. So Bianca attacks Rhea. So there's a bunch of fighting going on. And Rhea shoves Io into a door, Bianca into a road case, and eventually Pierce comes back and breaks it all up. So.
Yeah. As I was talking about, Finn Balor did not win the Intercontinental Championship from Braun Breaker, much to my dismay. Anyways, sort of, first Judgment Day we saw Finn's backstage at the clubhouse. He's in a great mood. He's like, hey, Liv, good luck in your match. Raquel, good luck in your match. And then Dom comes in and he's like, oh, there's the man of the hour, my ride or die. He said, thanks again for this match. He hugs him. Dom says, whatever it takes to get us back on top. I've got an idea, though. And Liv's like, ixnay on the idea. And he's like, I've talked to some people. Ever since we lost JD, we lost our muscle. He says, and I found someone. He says, what if I add Penta? And Finn's like, oh, steaming. After all this time, you go behind my back. All these talks and what you land on is offering a spot to Penta, who declared he wants to come after my Intercontinental Championship. This is, by the way, after Penta had declared he wants to come after the Intercontinental Championship. He says, you're a snake. And
also earlier in the show, Dom is backstage in the background talking to Karrion Kross.
Oh, okay. All right. So Dom says, he's like, I didn't know he was going to declare for the Intercontinental Championship. And Carlito's like, you don't watch the show, do you? Which is a pretty funny reference because half the time wrestlers act like they're not watching the show.
Yeah.
As Braun makes his way to the ring, backstage, bumps into Penta. They have a stare-off. And then we have Finn Balor's underwhelming music. He comes out. Him and Braun Breaker have a match. As I mentioned earlier, there was a really lazily booked, Judgment Day comes down. I mean, you got to figure, look, he just called Dom a snake. So, like, Dom comes down. He's like, I don't really need to be. I'm going to take that kind of abuse. I'm going to come down, but not really going to do my best. And in fact, I'm going to accidentally hit the rope while Finn is on top, and he's going to send him crashing down onto his Finn Balor nutsack. So anyways, all that ends up with Finn eating a spear from Braun. Braun gets the win there. After the match, Dom and Carlito attack. And then Penta's music hits. He wants to protect what's going to be his property, the Intercontinental Championship. Rushes down, takes out Dom and Carlito. Spear by Braun to Carlito, and then him and Penta stare at each other as so Penta has the title. He gives it over to Braun. Braun holds it high, and then Penta counters with a Cero Miedo.
Yeah.
And then we go off the air.
Yep. So the show ends. Seth Rollins had a promo, and pretty much this promo existed to promote him being on SmackDown this Friday.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of meat to it.
No.
He just said, you think I'd be upset or be out for revenge? Sorry, you think I'd be mad that Roman was out for revenge last week on Raw? No, I would have done the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But he can't make his own plans. He said if Roman just stayed away, I would have taken care of the CM Punk problem for all of us. But I hear they're both going to be on SmackDown, so guess what? Don't do it, Steve. I see what you're doing. You're wasting your time. Roman and Punk are going to be on SmackDown. I'm going to be on SmackDown to sing my song.
So wait, I'm sorry, what?
In the span of time you put all this in Chat GPT, I already effectively, efficiently, thoroughly summarized what Seth Rollins had to say.
How did you know I was doing that?
Because you highlighted it here on the notes. The same thing with Cena's promo.
You can't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me.
Try to play me for a fool. I ain't no fool. At least not in this instant.
Hold on a
Other
second.
instances,
More
absolutely.
concise. I want to see if I can get this down to just like the basic, which is Seth Rollins says he's going to be on SmackDown.
If it's longer than one sentence, then don't even bother.
More concise. I know. I'm trying to get into that because it's literally just he came out. I'm going to be at SmackDown.
Yeah, which is what I said.
Here we go. Seth Rollins hypes the crowd, mocks Roman for failing to stop CM Punk and teases confronting them both on SmackDown. He thanks Brussels and asks them to sing out.
That's 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's too long. So DJ Luke D asked us how they were as a crowd. They're very good. They're very good. You can dial. I think Seth probably thinks it's awesome. You guys are chanting forever. Maybe dial that back a little bit because us at home, we're just like, we want to get a move on. Yeah.
I think this is the first time they said that a televised show has ever been in Brussels. This is literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a lot of people in attendance there.
Now they're going to be in Bologna next week or on Friday or wherever they are.
Like that's just like a short car ride from Brussels.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Yeah.
Several hundred miles.
They can take a plane. They have like real air traffic controllers there.
They got trains, like actual good train system in Europe as well.
There you go. So what are we talking about here?
What makes these crowds so great is is the fact that this doesn't happen very often, and they can pour every ounce of excitement for what they're seeing into these shows, as opposed to us. Oh, this is twice a year we get WWE coming through town.
I'm saying there's a good middle ground. I'm saying there's a very good middle ground. It's like, between us lazy pieces of shit and the electric crowd in Brussels. I was like, I can go make a grilled cheese sandwich by the time you guys are taking it.
Why don't you do that?
Because I had a shake instead, a spinach shake, and I was trying to be healthy.
So you stepped aside while they were enjoying the show, singing Seth's song. You made yourself a shake. You came back. Yeah. What are you complaining about?
No, I made a shake. I'm not even complaining. It's a constructive criticism. That's what we do here on the show, Larson. Maggie dropped a super chat just now, Larson. Says, in Jade voice, "Hey, Steve, cut the shit." Oh, and then it's just forever and ever. Before you continue berating me, Larson, I believe we also have some more super chats and channel memberships. Here's a channel membership. W.S. Fletcher, 71 months.
That's almost 6 years.
That's stupid that we've been doing this long. And that's like a third of how long you've been like an act.
Mm-hmm.
He said this. What did I say? You listen to Finn, you'll eat that pin. Yep. That was a bummer. King Smokezilla became a channel member as well. And early on, Cian Lawrence, I forget how you pronounce the spelling of Cian. Is that Cian? Kian? Kian. It's Kian. It's Kian. That's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Says they think that the women should main event night one. I'm with you. I think it's a hot feud right now, and I think they need to deprive CM Punk of his WrestleMania dream this year of main eventing. So on that, Larson, we can agree, I think.
We can agree.
See, back on the same page.
Speaking of someone who may or may not main event night one of WrestleMania, main event Jey Uso.
Oh, what? I have a theory. You want to hear a conspiracy theory?
All right.
This is a harmless one. Larson, I feel like Triple H is intentionally tanking the creative on this feud.
Cooling off Jey Uso, huh?
How else can you describe? Now I'm being kind of serious here. How else can you describe or come to terms with just how poor this world championship feud has been?
Well, my counter would be, I'll say this. It's pretty clear that a lot of tension is being put on the Cena Cody stuff and Rhea Bianca Io. There's not a whole lot of attention being put on basically anything else in the build of Mania. Tiffany and Charlotte, they generated some measure of excitement because they had actually a pretty decent pull apart brawl, but there's still no story there. There's no story there.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think it's a situation where he's intentionally cooling off the Jey Uso thing. I just think all the emphasis is being placed on those two stories, and everything else is just kind of getting by.
Dude, this is actively bad. It's like he's writing this to cool it off. There are a million other ways you can write this and place it. It's like, I get it. Brussels, once in a lifetime, they got the Brussels Signature Series Cena stuff. So you put Cena and Cody in the A title on Raw. But the world title is such an afterthought on its own brand. Mm-hmm. This theory match, number one, involving, look at who they're involving in this thing.
Yeah, I know.
What about Alpha Academy? And look, the performers are great. I'm not talking shit about them. The way they have creatively been positioned in advance of all this.
We had the same conversation last week, I think. Yeah.
But like, dude, and it was there last week too. But it just felt extra egregious, I think, because of the placement of Cody and Cena, and just stuck in the middle of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jay versus Austin Theory in a nothing match.
Yeah.
That goes, what, like 5 minutes maybe? I don't even know if it was that.
Belt, it was like 2 moves.
It was. Okay, yeah. And then it's copy paste, same thing. Gunther comes out, chokes him out. There was something even more afterthought-ish, but like, I don't know. Is it because he doesn't want to like give this the kind of heat to give it the night one main event?
I mean, I suppose that's possible if they've made their decision in terms of what's going to main event both nights, and it's clear to them that this ain't going to be in that position. Then there could be a situation where, like, all right, pump the brakes a little bit. We'll have it open night one. Jay wins, get the whole crowd eating to open the show, and we'll close with Rhea, Bianca, and Io. That could be.
Dude, it feels like that.
That could be.
Let's do this. Let's throw a bunch of like guys who, you know, like they're so cold. We have them going to NXT for a spell.
Like I was, you know, I guess the glass half full perspective would be, hey, here's the Raw main event storyline here with the World Heavyweight Championship. Let's involve Alpha Academy and Waller and Theory to elevate them. The issue is World Heavyweight Championship isn't even treated as like an important thing on its own show. Therefore, it feels more like the World Heavyweight Championship scene is getting bogged down with Alpha Academy in A-Town Down Under, as opposed to elevating everybody involved.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, that's a stretch.
It is. I'm saying that's an optimistic viewpoint of it. You know what I mean?
That's trying to find something, and I appreciate that. Look, I mean, it's a conversation. I appreciate that. I know you're not.
And that's not saying that's the perspective I prescribe to.
Certainly not the opinions of you, huh?
Yeah, or subscribe to, whatever it is.
Yeah, dude. When I saw, you know, when you see Jay, and it's like coming up tonight, because in the open they had like coming up tonight. You got Jey Uso versus Austin Theory. It's like fucking what? Yeah. What? Really?
Like, there's got to be a way. So even if you don't want to, there's 2 issues. One, this 10 weeks of violence thing that Gunther promised has been an abject failure. 2, I feel like if Jay is going to be competing against people, they should kind of be proxies for Gunther.
Yeah, I agree.
And I understand Gunther is singular. Like, no one wrestles like Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
But people who have a presence like Gunther.
Yeah.
Who are physical like Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
And so we as the audience see Jay having these matches. He can beat opponents comparable to Gunther.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that seems like Champ here mentions Karrion Kross. Yes. I mean, I guess they don't want Kross apparently wrestling, much less taking losses these days.
Well, okay, let's take your idea and apply it to, if this guy wasn't super cold, it'd probably work a little bit better, but Pete Dunne, a guy who's had some epic matches with Gunther. He's cold. I get it. I know he's cold.
Well, I mean, also he's not like physically imposing like Gunther is. You know what I mean?
But there's parallels. I mean, you can look at the history. They run a really nice video package, and he could be a guy that this guy stood toe to toe with Gunther.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not even necessarily advocating that, but I'm looking at your point and saying, okay, this is a valid point. There are people out there who you could sort of shoehorn into that.
Sheamus. I know Sheamus is a baby face. If you want a proxy for Gunther, it's Sheamus.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Someone who's, 6'4", 6'5"?
Sheamus is even going to be at WrestleMania, dude?
It ain't looking like it.
Doesn't seem like it, huh?
Unless it's a multi-man match for the Intercontinental title, he's involved.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I understand both Sheamus and Jay are baby faces, but you can have Sheamus as a baby face be like, hey, Jay, let me help you out here. I know it's the you don't want to go too close to the Chad Gable, Sami Zayn storyline, but like, hey, you got prepared for some physical shit with Gunther. I know you've been through it once, but here, face me, and you'll be ready to go against Gunther.
They're doing a better job, like on SmackDown. The brand he's not even on, with Gunther showing up and taking on Axiom. Mm-hmm. A guy says, "Oh, this guy's all about the entertainment value and stuff like that." So I don't know, man. I saw Jey Uso out there, and I'm like, God damn, it's just cold.
And another thing with Sheamus, former world champion, good win for Jey heading through WrestleMania. Austin Theory loses all the goddamn time.
Hey, this is a good point. W.S. Fletcher says, violence is subjective. Gunther could be saying psychological violence. He's like, Jey Uso, I'm going to make sure the creative on this feud is so lame, it is so cold, that it will not be entertaining to anyone. We will mid-card night one.
It's like Gunther says, we're going to tell like the opposite of a story here.
We're going to tell an anti-story.
Yeah.
Wow. I've been talking to Werner Herzog.
Going to be at the WrestleMania.
We're going to be at the WrestleMania.
So before Jay's match against Austin Theory, he drops the promo from the concourse. It's actually not in the concourse. He's backstage. He says, I ain't been myself. Mind playing tricks on me, so I flew halfway across the world to kick someone's ass. Tonight it's Austin Theory. Then it's you, Gunther. Hey, Oos, hit my music. And so he turns around and Gunther's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I talked to Jimmy the other night. He's just as stupid as you. So Jay pushes some officials coming to break it up. Jay goes down for his match. Bell rings. Waller has a quick distraction. And then Jay just ends up hitting the spear to get the win. It was super quick.
And it was like a horrible spear, too.
Yeah, it was like a
crossbody. Yeah.
So then Waller hits the ring. He eats a super kick. Jay kind of misses the dive a little bit, but laughs about it. And then, so Gunther's in the ring, puts a sleeper on him. Jay sends him in the corner, hits some shots. And then Jay rips the belt off Gunther. Gunther charges. Jay low bridges him out of the ring. So he's holding the belt up and then throws it at Gunther.
Yeet.
I'm being generous calling this feud tepid. And that's generous.
It's cold. It's cold, man. It's cold. Not to say they couldn't heat it up. They got 33 days, as they reminded us a bunch of times. Yeah. No, I'll be honest with you. Earlier when I was like, hey, how this match went like really short, and I said 5 minutes, it's because I saw Jey Uso coming out to fight Austin Theory. I was like, this will be about a 5-minute match. I walked away to the kitchen real quick, and then I come back and I'm like, oh shit, that ended already. So my perception of time in the moment was kind of lost because I was so like, what the fuck is this match even?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, that's what happened there. And then we had Ludwig Kaiser versus Penta. Their blow off a no holds barred match.
Really fun.
This was really, really, really good stuff. Pretty awesome. They got terrific chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that Penta driver hitting the Kaiser hit his head on the chair leg there.
Yeah,
that was rough. Boy,
yeah,
that was
there was a lot of rough spots in this match.
There were, yeah.
Table. Now the table doesn't break, and he sort of move on the table. You just think, gosh, that probably hurts. The table doesn't give.
Yeah.
Let me see. So Penta hits a super kick, sends a chair into Kaiser's face. Another one. And then Penta hits the Destroyer off the second rope, follows with Penta driver to get the win. There's a lot of fun stuff in here, though, so highly recommend checking it out. Kelly gets in the ring afterwards to interview Penta.
Dude, it's not even in the ring, though. This was cool because they're leaving, and they're like in the on the
ramp.
On the ramp, like in the middle of the ramp to get to the ring, the walkway area. So there's like fans, and they had the cool like skinny entrance, and I love that. And so she does this interview with him there. She says, "What's next?" And he's like, "First of all, thank you, Brussels. You were amazing. I love you." He says, "You say what's next for Penta? The Intercontinental Championship. I don't care what I have to do." And then he finishes off in Spanish, heads to the back. Cero Miedo. This was awesome, man. This was he's so charismatic, and they let him get right into that camera. And yeah, everything about his production, about his presentation is just 10. Several steps above where it was before those other guys.
And then we had American Made involved in a couple matches. First, Dakota Kai took on Ivy Nile and won in a pretty quick bout. In this one, LWO runs down to take out the Creed brothers because they're ringside with Ivy. Gable tries to run in, and they chase him around the ring and through the crowd. This distracts Ivy, allows Dakota to hit the face wash running boot. Follows with the go-to kick to get the win. Later on, we had a tag match with the Creeds taking on LWO. LWO, Ray, Dragon Lee get the win here. After Ray hits a Rana and a 619 on Julius, I believe. And then Chad Gable as Luchador comes to the ring, attacks Ray, hits and Dragon Lee with German suplexes, diving headbutt. Says gracias and runs through the crowd.
Yep.
And then finally, AJ Styles is having an interview backstage talking about Logan Paul carrying cross steps in. And before that, AJ says, I stand by what I said. Logan Paul doesn't belong. So this brings in Cross and Scarlett. Cross says, I just want to offer another perspective. Maybe you aren't mad at Logan Paul, but maybe you're mad at yourself. How long did it take for you to get here and get your validation? 16 years? And AJ says 17. It didn't take Logan Paul that long. Are you telling me you can't find respect from a guy who accomplished everything you wanted in record time? And AJ says, it's not going to work on me, whatever it is you're doing. And so he leaves, and then Cross says, I think it's working.
Yeah, man. I like Cross. He's so good.
He is good.
Yeah, they need to find something for that guy to do, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So people are mentioning that, of course, next week Jey Uso is supposed to have a mystery partner.
It's got to be him, Jim Uso, yeah?
I don't know. They're in Scotland, man. That crowd would go fucking nuts. Who do you think had a bigger pop? Jimmy Uso? Or Joe Hendry?
Oh, maybe Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry would get a fucking massive pop.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty loud pop.
Boy, that'd be huge. Say his name and Joe Hendry appears. I believe in Jimmy Uso. Yeah, I could see it being Joe Hendry. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Would you like to answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions, yeah.
All right. Let me get to the correct page where I can do that because I don't have it up right now.
Let's see out here on the Patreon. Sebastian Garcia asks, who was your favorite wrestler as a kid? And how would you have reacted if they cut a You People promo to your face?
Oh, okay.
So since you didn't necessarily watch as a kid, with 1997, 1998 Steve.
Oh.
Like a Stone Cold Steve Austin cut a You People promo right to your face, how would you have reacted?
Oh, man. I'd have given the old double middle finger and then kick to the gut, power bomb.
No, you would have been the one taking the stunner then there.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm trying to think. No, I'm actually trying to think of I had a childhood hero that wasn't like my dad or something lame like that. Yeah. Like if I had like a fictional, character.
Like Batman cut a You promo on you.
Fuck, I'd soil myself. Yeah. Are you kidding me? If Batman did it, hey, I'm breaking up with you. Fuck.
Yeah, it's full soil.
That's exactly how it had gone. That'd probably still happen. And I'm like in my mid 40s.
Yeah.
Hey, break up with you.
Macho Man was my favorite wrestler as a kid. I don't know, he's pretty intense. It probably would have been very upsetting.
Yeah, it would have been, scarring, I would think. Oh, yeah, guess what? Macho King says no to you. I'm breaking up with you, little kid. Yeah, that'd be great.
Let's see here. Lord Ziffer says, feels like we're definitely getting Demon Finn squashing Dom at Mania, right?
What? They
I don't
haven't
know.
hinted anything about the
Yeah.
demon.
I mean, obviously Finn and Dom are beefing, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like there is going to be. I mean, there's got to be at some point an actual Judgment Day split between Finn and Dom. Dom's winning that match though, because if you listen to Finn, eat the pin.
Finn equals pin.
Yeah. Zyshawn says, where would you rank this amongst the best heel promos of all time? What's the greatest heel promo of all time?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
I mean, probably like, I don't know, Mark Henry's retirement speech is pretty cool.
Oh, that was so good.
That was a really good one. I don't know. We need more historical context, I feel.
Yeah.
There wasn't that one. I mean, I guess I break up with you. That might go down.
Maybe.
That might go down. That might happen. That might be a thing.
I don't know. This felt like it was really long. It wasn't the most efficient use of time.
It needed to be shorter, yeah.
Alex Foster here asked, if you turned heel, what would be your You People promo? I saw someone in the comments on Friendo Club describe me as insufferable the other day. That was the whole comment. Larson is insufferable.
Wow.
So.
I mean, that wasn't just me saying that?
I mean, I guess if you got to, I mean, it wasn't Russell Juice.
Oh, so well, I've got several other burners.
All right.
You know, who knows? I might have been drinking, watching the show back. Let me get on my burner. You know.
Gosh, this guy is both boring and annoying. How, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so just the guy,
This is what it would be.
Okay.
It would be when you stole Big Red from me.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody backed you up. Nearly everybody. There's a few people who listen to me because I was telling the truth.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, "Oh, Larson, you're accusing him of stealing something. How dare you? Where's your
evidence?" I produced an actual drawing from the Rancho Cordova.
You admitted to stealing it from me.
No, man, that was under pressure, under duress, like years after the fact, and it was just to get something that I wanted out of you.
So Champ here says, I backed up Steve, and don't think I forgot that. And Maggie says, I stand with you, my tribal snake chief. Thank you, Maggie.
You know what, though? She's told me in private that I'm actually her favorite, so. Yeah, I don't know. What do you people promo?
I feel like I have a lot more evidence based on the show mythology to drop a you people promo, perchance, than maybe you do.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I'm just trying to think, like, what would it sound like? Let's see here. Jabroni Town says, what does Judgment Day look like come SummerSlam? Probably the same. Honestly, exactly the same as it does now.
Yeah.
They ain't breaking up anytime soon.
No. Maybe SummerSlam 2026.
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Sinister here says, with Stone Cold being advertised for Vegas Mania weekend, he's going to be at WWE World at WWE, whatever it's called.
Yeah, right.
What are the odds he'll be part of the Cena Cody match like Taker was last year?
That ship has sailed. I'm fine.
Had knee replacements.
What's that?
He's had his knees replaced.
God damn. Really? I wonder if he likes how they did it, because my knees are shot. I feel like this needs to involve 3 people total. Cody, Cena, Rock.
Agreed.
They don't need, and on top of, hey, let me ask you this real quick. Where do you stand now on Cody versus Cena? Who walks away with the title at WrestleMania?
Oh, I mean, until I'm led to believe otherwise, I'm assuming John Cena walks out with it.
Really? Okay. All right. I think tonight might have even bolstered my thoughts on that as well, because Cody just basically bitch slapped him and walked away. Now, I don't think that's definitely not the last word. There's 33 days left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Cena's probably gonna win.
I mean, he's what they have in the next pay-per-view in St. Louis. Got to think Randy Orton's going to be involved in a high-profile match, perhaps challenging John Cena. John Cena is advertised for the Saturday night's main event in Tampa on like May 24th. Makes sense. He's advertised for it because he's going to be on the show, probably in a segment or defending the title.
Yeah.
So.
Dave Matushek says, considering that Corey Graves filled in for Pat McAfee this week, do you think they should alternate between the two sporadically in the near future? No, they should just replace Pat with Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, he's just better at it. He is. You know, I understand that Pat McAfee's a big name and everything. That's great. Put him on podcast or something. But I just, it's his commentary is just exhausting sometimes.
It can't be, yeah.
It's just like,
Mark S. And yes, the avatar is Mark Scout from Severance.
Love it.
Says, is 2022 Clash of the Castle one of the most underrated, impactful shows in recent times? Says Roman beats Drew. Of course, that was Solo's debut.
Okay.
Seth's first win as Seth freaking Rollins after 3 straight losses on pay-per-view to Cody.
Okay.
Dom turns and joins Judgment Day.
Wow.
Damage Control's first match.
Ooh.
Sheamus loses to Gunther in a fantastic battle.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, boy, that was a match of the year. Yeah, that was really a killer.
Good.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty eventful show, it seems.
It is.
Broceratops says Punk and Seth have heat, but do you think Roman adds or detracts from this program? Oh, dude, he adds. He's a tribal chief. Throw your ones up. No, it's great. I love Roman. I think him versus Punk versus Seth. Yeah, give it all to me.
Let's see what the dynamic is with all 3 of them in the ring talking to each other, and then I'll...
Here's the thing. I feel like, unlike with last year with The Rock, I think Roman and Punk will both sell for Roman when it comes to the promos, and he won't do that thing where he fades into the background sometimes. Because last year, The Rock, remember that one SmackDown promo that Roman had without The Rock there? And it was so flat. The guy was completely off.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else The Rock dominated. He was very entertaining. But I'm hoping that because Seth and Punk are probably both eager and interested in working a really good story with Roman won't fade to the background. I think he'll add a lot to it. That's my hope.
I hope so. This is a good question from Edward Munoz. Says, do you think people put too much value in the idea of heel turns? I always see people complain about baby faces being stale, but shouldn't the baby faces just be written better? Seems wrestling fans just don't think good guys are cool, hence people are thinking in earnest Cody was going to turn by now. Yeah, part of the issue is historically, or for a long time, like WWE didn't do baby faces well. They were just kind of bland and generic and not proactive. And then the last couple of years, like when Drew McIntyre was a face, proactive, taking the fight to people. Cody's been doing that. I think people want a more proactive protagonist as opposed to someone who's strictly reacting to what's happening. So.
Yeah, dude, I don't disagree. Well, I'll put it this way. Back when McMahon cut that weird good guys, bad guys, we're not here to insult your intelligence. Mm-hmm. I think that was actually a really good philosophy that he never really adhered to. No. Because then he would continue to book good guys and bad guys. And it does feel like Triple H seems a little bit, I know I'm saying this coming off the biggest heel turn like in modern history. I get it. But if you look at the rank and file of the roster, at times it feels like he's trying to inch closer towards just characters as opposed to good guys and bad guys.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like it's an easier way to relate these characters to an audience to make them, baby faces and heels. I did appreciate John Cena's opening line. I'm not a baby face. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was good,
Yeah, that was good.
Let's see here. Mike Robb says, do you see a promo happening where Cody and Cena actually go back and forth? He says, or do you think it's smarter to not let Cody be exposed to the hypocrisy yet? I want them to develop a killer back and forth interaction where both dudes sell for each other and a compelling story is told.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a great question. Jay Smooth says, what contract, because you mentioned this earlier, but we didn't specify this stuff. What contract would you and I just pick up and sign, and what would it be for?
Like when you win the lottery, do you have to sign something? You probably have to sign something saying how you're going to take the money, right?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Storman, we both put our names on there. Guess what? This lottery jackpot's going to be divided 3 ways now.
That's a smart move. That's a really smart move. I was going to go something not as smart, but I'll do it anyways. We crash the contract signing of the latest second round pick of the Sacramento Kings, like the very last pick they have, and we sign our names to it, and they're like, what the hell, this was like for a really good player, and it's like, well, now it's for 3 really good players, and they're like, you guys are like a million years old, one of you is horribly out of shape.
You both point at the other one, huh? I point at you, you point at me.
Yeah, that's what we do. I was going to say something along the lines of, I don't know, Sirius XM decides to pick up, I don't know, name a wrestling podcast.
Deadlock.
Perfect. They decided to pick up. We like them guys. That's a good one. They decided Sirius XM going to give them like $1 million. Deadlock podcast, right? We show up, put our names on it instead. We are now the Sirius XM wrestling podcast.
Or now Deadlock is a 5-man team.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Well, they think it's a 4-man team because they've got the running Steven Larson joke.
Oh, that's right. Steven
Larson. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. We'll end on this one. Fear and Loathing says, John Cena broke up with us. We've been together for more than 7 years. That means we're legally married. Are we entitled to alimony? It's like, what is it? Common law or no, not common law. What is it?
Well, I think that's, yeah, but I thought it was 10 years. I thought it was
10 years? Is it?
It might depend on the state.
Well, shit. I mean, he's talking about 2 decades.
Yeah.
That we've been together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, clearly, we need, some residuals.
Yeah.
Some monthly alimony, I guess. Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anyway. King Smokezilla says, calf meat all over the basketball court. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show today. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Man, 830 people will hear us talk about John Cena's You People promo. Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notify bell. Till next time, we'll